Thank you very much for that, Simon. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Technical problems 5 minutes before we just start, and all of my electric blew a fuse. Everything completely dead, so it's been panic for a few minutes. Okay, guys, that delay that you've experienced actually gave Brandon time to prepare, because just before the call, Brandon said there was going to be a slight delay, but I can see he's here and ready and waiting for us. I look forward to these Monday night calls because I know that the quality of training that we get whenever we have Brandon is second to none. The passion that Brandon has for this industry and for everyone in this business just flows completely. But Brandon's got a very, very special guest that he's got with us tonight as well. I first heard this guy speak just 2 nights ago, and we haven't stopped talking about it since. Brandon, I'm going to pass it over to you, my friend, and I'm going to let you make the introductions.
Awesome, man. Well, first of all, guys, super excited to be on this call and have this opportunity. Hope you guys are doing well in the UK. And myself and Jordan Comsa, who's my partner with Boyd Pips, we are actually traveling down to St. George, Utah to do an event tonight. We just started a team out there recently, and they've already packed the house. These guys are exploding, and I'll tell you what it's from. And this is what I wanted to train on today. And Jason will be on in about 20 minutes or so after I'm done. By the way, if I lose signal for a second, it's because I'm going underground, but hopefully you guys can bear with me. Want to make sure you guys can still hear me. If so, just put a yes inside the chat.
We can, Brandon.
Okay, perfect. So if it does get spotty, it's because I'm underground for a second, then I'll get out. Like I said, Jordan and I are going down to do an event, and the thing that I got this team to do down in St. George, Utah, that I'm really excited about is I told them, look, a lot of people have different they set goals for the new year. They're so excited about the new year, which to me, it's like, it doesn't matter whether it's the new year or not. I mean, I just kind of set the goals and keep going anyway. But the thing that I want to tell you guys is really the importance of, and I'm going to turn my camera off just for a second. You guys will be able to hear me. Really the importance of putting yourself in the position to actually be committed with your goals. So not just like setting goals, but I'm talking about like actually being committed to actually achieve your goals, putting yourself in a position where you say, you know what, I'm not just going to set goals. I'm actually going to be committed to actually keep these goals. So I want to know in the chat, how many people, a couple of questions I want to ask you, you guys can answer in the chat. How many people have actually set goals for 2020? Put in the chat, yes, if you have. If you've set goals for 2020, put them in the chat.
Put them in the Phoenix group, guys. Okay.
And don't be afraid either. Put it in the chat because we want to know who wants to succeed. Because you guys remember what Zig Ziglar said? He said 97% of people never set goals, and then they wonder why their life is the way that it is, right? And so you want to put yourself in a position where you guys can actually win. So I don't want to talk about goals today. I want to talk about commitment. So this has to do with the trading, but it also has to do with the building as well. So if you guys really want to put yourself in a position where you can actually be winning this year, one of the things that I committed for myself several years ago, and by the way, let me put it on the screen here. There's Jordan Comsa, trading partner for Boyd Pips. We're headed out. But the thing that I want to, we'll go up that way that they got better reception. But the thing that I started doing is several years ago that really started helping me to achieve my goals that I'd set was actually the word commitment. And I want you guys to commit to actually following through and making a resolve that this year you're actually going to achieve your goals. Otherwise, we're just setting goals year after year after year. See, we don't get our goals, we get our standards. That's what Tony Robbins talks about. You know, we get the things that we expect. We get the things that we work hard for. We get the things that, not that we just write down, but things that we're actually taking action on. Let me give you an example. You cannot have the attitude that, hey, this was a bad trading week, so now I'm just going to kick back and I'm not going to share the business with anybody. Let me tell you right now, if you're trying to build the business, you will never, and I repeat, you'll never have success if that's your attitude. You have to make a resolve that I believe in what we're doing, and come hell or high water, I'm going to make this thing happen. And we're going to have times where I need to put my seatbelt on. Yeah. So, okay, hold on. I got to put my seatbelt on, guys. No, we can just go. 1 second. Got to put my seatbelt on here so I don't have the beeping noises. So you have to make that decision that I believe in what we're doing. So it's not, I could care less if I have a bad day trading or a bad week trading or whatever the case may be. I make the decision that I believe in what we're doing. I believe in the leadership. I believe in the corporate team. I believe in Chris Terry. I believe in the field leadership, you know, namely Jason Brown, Matt Rosa, Alex Morton, you know, Ivan Tapia and others out there. I believe in this. And so because I believe in it, I'm going to move forward. Otherwise, guys, you just come in and let's be real, it's just a money game. They get in and they pretty much just roll the dice. They say, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to trade and I want to get rich. But at the end of the day, we realize that it's more than that. It's also the mindset that we have is more important than just the skill set. Now, you guys are in a position with, you know, a very unique position with the winner's circle where you have some really good guidance that come along with the trades that you guys are getting to protect your accounts, to put you in winning positions. And so you have an advantage over many other groups inside the company. I told this to you several weeks ago that there are things that the winner's circle is doing that other individuals and teams are not doing, which is the reason why you guys are having a lot of growth and other teams are not having a lot of growth. But that growth comes with commitment. You commit yourself that, look, I'm going to get rid of all apps on my phone that don't make me money. Time wasters. I'm only going to have things like Telegram on my phone or WhatsApp because those kind of apps actually make me money. I'm going to have apps that have audiobooks. Audio, you know, just listening to books on audio that are working on my mind. $1 billion worth of information, right? And so with this, think about the goals that you guys actually have written down for this year. Are you actually committed to actually making those goals come to fruition? Because see, for me, I don't just write down goals passively. I actually write them down with the belief that I'm actually going to achieve them, even if it's going to cause me to stretch quite a bit. I just, you know, remember what Think and Grow Rich said, what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. Like I actually believe that we are going to be successful, like that those goals are actually going to come to pass. And you guys have the position right now, no matter what your circumstances are, which I know everyone watching this right now, you have different circumstances going on in your life. Everybody does. Welcome to the club. But guess what's going to help you get through those circumstances? Commitment, a commitment to grow, a commitment to personal growth, a commitment that every time a trade alert comes through, I'm going to be Johnny on the spot. I don't care if I'm at my job. If I want to get out of my job, I have to be committed. I mean, look at it this way. If every trade idea got that you received made you $1,000, let's just say US dollars, and you guys can translate it depending on what country that you're from. $1,000, I guarantee you, you would be taking every single trade. But because your belief is not all the way there, you get those trade ideas and you take them passively. Well, let's see if this works out. You cross your arms, you sit back. How much more drawdown is this going to be in? Is this trade going to turn around? You start blowing up Roger's phone. You start up
Well, that may be the signal going, guys, but as soon as Brandon comes back, we'll let him continue. I can see his lips moving occasionally. But you get the point of what Brandon's saying. And the support that we get from Brandon, from Jason Brown, from Matt Rosa, I've never seen anything like that with this company. With Simon, both Simon and I have been with other companies in the past where we've been the only people that can actually support our teams. We've never had strong uplines that have done this for us. You know, we have Brandon, we have Jason, we have Matt Rosa, we have Joe Gomez. We have a bunch of people who make massive amounts of money in this industry, who are all focusing on trying to help us as individuals. And we got to hear from Jason a couple of days ago. And what I loved about listening to Jason is that the guy has absolutely no ego. You know, I've been with these companies where the top earners live in the big houses, they drive the fancy cars. Brandon, you're back with us.
Yes, let me put my name on the screen here 1 second. And oops, that is not Brandon Boyd. There we go. Got it fixed. So what I was saying, guys, is sometimes, you know, we really got to believe in what it is that we're actually doing. We got to believe in the leadership. This is not something that's brand new. This is something that we've been doing for a long time. And if you were to see a lot of what's going on out there, I was just with a team in Canada. I just got back from Canada. I'm going to be in Europe for an entire month of February with Jason Brown, Chairman 500, who's going to come on here shortly. And they're really amazed at what it is that we are actually doing, because they actually came from another trading company that you guys know very well, and I will not give their name, but you know them very well. When they saw what we were doing, the results, the education, the training, they were like, oh my gosh, this is next level, right? So we need to appreciate what it is that we have. Let me give you an example of appreciation. Roger Garth, along with Simon Brooks, but Roger on like the trading side and stuff, has since day one done an amazing job. I've watched how he communicates with you guys in the group. I can tell you there are very, very few individuals that I've met in 20 years that are as responsive as Roger at facilitating messages, putting out fires, staying positive, guiding you guys through the trades, protecting your accounts. You have someone here who's a phenomenal leader. And so you need to take advantage of that in a very positive way. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to you, Roger, because I see what you do. I see the chats. I see the communication, and you really do a great job of keeping things together and kind of being that glue and that cement that is really keeping everybody going. You're protecting people's money and doing a really good job of taking our services and really trying to take them to another level. So, guys, think about your goals. Now, if you don't have any goals for the year, then your goal today is to actually write down the top 3 goals that you're going to achieve in 2020. If you already have your goals, then you need to write down the words, I am committed in 2020 to see my goals through. When I say I am, that's also I am, like I Am Mastery Academy. I'm committed to seeing my goals come through in 2020. If you guys believe that, put a yes inside the chat. Because belief, as we know, is really the major key. It's not just action, because belief typically comes from action. You know, we take action because we believe something. But if you really believe that, put a yes in there. If you actually believe that you're going to achieve your goals, because see, I have my goals right now. I have them memorized. Some of you guys have seen them on my social media. I have a very detailed goals list for physical, my marriage, financial, things like that. It's all memorized. But I really believe it. I'm committed to actually make those things come to pass. I'm willing to waste and wear out myself to make sure that those things happen. But not just for me, also for you and for the team. And that's what I really care the most about, is at the end of the day, helping other people. Because my belief has been is if I help, by doing what, God has asked me to do, which is to help people, to serve people, then I will be taken care of. And so that's really my desire, is to help you guys be in a position where you not just have goals for 2020, but the reality is that you are actually committed to making those goals come to pass. If you guys are committed, put the word committed in the chat. This is just me talking to you. Like, imagine if you and I are sitting one-on-one, and I'd say have a cup of coffee, but I don't drink coffee. But imagine if we were sitting one-on-one and I was just talking to you. I mean, you're looking at a guy here, Jordan Comsa, who stays up most nights, has a wife and a 1-year-old daughter, just had her birthday, I think yesterday, so happy birthday to her. This guy is committed to success. He has blown a number of trading accounts over the last couple of years. He's been perfecting his craft. He's had black circles under his eyes, which is the reason why he's wearing sunglasses from all the sleepless nights of learning this. But guess what? He's traveling with me right now. Do you know why? Because he doesn't have a job. He was able to get out of his job because of trading. And he failed and failed and failed his way to success. Michael Jordan said, I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. He's missed over 9,000 shots, yet made 51%. And over 52 times, Michael Jordan was counted on to hit the game-winning shot, and 24 of those times, he hit the game-winning shot. Guys, you're going to hit the game-winning shot in 2020, and you're going to do it through commitment. You're going to do it through commitment. No more of this wishy-washy, as Zig Ziglar said, becoming a wandering generality, not a meaningful specific, just wandering here and there and getting nowhere, but putting yourself in a position that says, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this shit. I am tired of my goals. I'm sick and tired of my rank not going up. I'm tired of my trading account looking like crap. I'm committed to this actually coming to pass. If you guys are committed, please put committed in the chat box. Like, sometimes you got to be pissed off for greatness. I mean, you got to get angry at some point and say, babe, if you have a spouse or significant other, I'm not going to let this happen anymore. I'm sick and tired of failing and quitting and failing and quitting and failing and quitting all the time. I'm committed to make our dreams come true. And see, when I got committed years ago, guys, I got out of a job. I was committed to be home with my wife and kids so that I could control my destiny and freedom. And now we're on year 16 of no job. 6 children. How many people could do that? 6 children, no job. Not a lot of people. Most people have a hard time just taking care of themselves, for crying out loud, right? They can't even pay their own bills, let alone try and have a spouse or a significant other, and then kids on top of that. They're lucky they might just have a dog or something, right? But you've got to be committed to your success. Jordan, 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Jordan and I were stopping. I needed him to grab me a drink. But guys, first of all, let me check. Roger, can you see if Jason Brown has jumped on yet? I want to see. I don't see his name yet.
I can't see his name in the list yet.
Okay, let's see. 1 second.
Brandon,
okay.
I'm here. If you can go for 5 minutes, I'm gonna go downstairs so I don't lose reception. I'm gonna have better reception out of my apartment. So give me like 3 to 5 minutes, and I'll pop back in.
I can always talk for another 5 minutes. I'm good.
I know you can, my brother.
Guys, that's actually one thing I want to mention here real quick is that I asked Jason Brown to be on a couple of team training. I want you to listen to this. There's a principle that comes from this. I reached out to Jason Brown, who is he's the busiest guy I know of in the company because he helps corporate, but he's also in the field as a Chairman 500. I asked him, hey, Jason, I've got some team training calls coming up, and here's the schedule. Let me know what day and what time works for you. Now, remember, I asked him the question, let me know what day and time works for you. I was just looking for one session. He responded. He responds very quickly, and he said, all of them. And I said, are you kidding me? He said, all of them. He says, I stay in phase 1. And I thought, wow, this guy is a Chairman 500 who still has the work ethic of a Chairman 500. We have too many people that want to go chairman, but their work ethic is platinum 150. They want a 7-figure trading account, but they bitch and moan all the time. They get pissed off because they lost a trade. And yet they wonder why their accounts don't grow. They wonder why their life is the way that it is. They wonder why that they don't hit those ranks. Jason Brown set the principle of commitment. He is committed not just to his own success. He is committed to my success. He actually told me in a text message the other day, he said, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, because we were talking about goals together. And he said, even if I die, I'm willing to do what it takes to help you and the teams succeed. And I thought, wow, man, this guy could be kicking back. He could be playing the Xbox, driving his Lambo. He could be in his great apartment, or should I say incredible condo in Miami, Florida. And he could be looking at all of his material things that he has in his house and go, man, I made it. But he wasn't focused on, man, I made it. Now I can just rest. He's working as hard or harder than he did going Chairman 500. That shows what? Commitment. It shows sincerity. It shows that he actually cares. Guys, you cannot wait until you get yourself in a position that, oh, financially I'm doing good now. Now I'm going to start serving people. Once I start making money, that's when I'm going to start giving. No. You have to give like the widow who gave the widow's mite. You can't plant a Honda Accord and expect the Rolls Royce of life. You've got to be willing to give it right now. That means your time, your energy, your money, your efforts. These are the things that you need to do to get to the mountaintop, to go from the pit to the palace, to put yourself in a position from having to pay off credit cards, car loans, home loans, to being able to give an abundance around the world. That's what you want to do. So with that, Roger, I'm going to turn it back to you. Jason is probably plugged in at this point. I'm super excited to have him train. Jason, I want to say to you, I really appreciate your commitment and the example that you've set for me and the team, that no matter what your rank has ever been, you've always treated everyone very kind. You've been loving towards people. I'm super excited to be able to travel with you in Europe to change people's lives, and just super grateful that you're willing to get on these Zoom calls. One of our other leaders who was looking in the company said, he goes, you still get on those, Jason? And he goes, yeah. I mean, the guy was surprised. He was surprised that Jason wasn't just kicking back and just enjoying the money. And so, Jason, we appreciate you and your commitment to the team and for us individually to better our lives. So with that, Roger, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for that, Brandon. Thank you for the very kind words. I appreciate that. I have another quote from Zig Ziglar that really kind of gets that message across that you were trying to get across before. But Zig Ziglar said, you can have everything you want in the world if you just help enough other people get what you want. So I figure that's what I'm going to do right now, is just help as many people as I can. So that's why I will always be here for each and every one of you guys. I was blown away a couple of nights ago when I got a phone call from Joe Gomez at 1:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. And Joe didn't know what time it was here in the UK, and I got this message, and he said, "Can you talk for a minute?" I said, "Sure." And then he said, when he got on the phone, he said, "What time is it?" I said, "It's 1:30 a.m. He said, "I'm really sorry." I said, "Don't matter." And then he asked me if I could set a call up with Jason Brown on Saturday night. So this was like real last minute stuff. I had to stay up till 2 a.m. to sort of quickly knock a graphic together, get the message out to everybody so that you guys could be on it. With no notice whatsoever, we got about 43 people on. I find it staggering that with loads of notice, we get less than that today. Even more staggering because the people that listened to that call were just blown away when they heard Jason speak. And I've never heard such a level of, or such a degree of sincerity and commitment from someone who is making such an incredible amount of money and yet cares about the people that he works with. In all my time in traditional corporate businesses, you know, I worked for Mercedes-Benz. I had a good job with Mercedes. The guys who made the big money never even looked at the people in the showroom or the guys in the workshop. They just walk past and just stroll by, you know, and they go, "I'm making 100 grand a year, don't care." Yeah. Now we have someone who makes 100 grand, it takes a couple of days, but he cares. To the depth of his heart, he cares about how you guys work. And the reason he makes the money is because he cares. It's putting the caring in first. Now, having said that, I can see he's unmuted himself. So, Jason, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Roger, how are you, my brother?
I'm very well, thank you.
Amazing. Well, I am driving, and I figure the best way we can crush this training to get the most out of me is for me to focus on the road and giving you guys that information. So dead German 500 is not a good one. But I'm really excited to be here again. Long time no see. For some of you guys, we were just on the call the other day talking 2020 vision. And Roger, I just want to say before I kick off, I'm grateful for those words. And I actually agree with you that one of the things that inspired me to be different is just the way that people are treated, you know, and I worked in corporate America. There's a gentleman named Tillman Fertitta who owns the Houston Rockets. He owns a bunch of the restaurants that are super popular in the U.S., like Rainforest Cafe, Bubblegum Shrimp. There's a number. And I watched how a multi-billion-dollar corporation operated, and you know, having such a bearing responsibility to help that business. I helped him open up his first nightclub, and contributed about 60% of the sales. At least got those 60% of the sales in the door, maybe 80, honestly. Watching the way that even I was treated, you know, and then forget about, you know, the people that were lower on the structure of the company. I made a decision that network marketing was my future. And, you know, I really, it was the first time in my life where genuinely there was an environment where I accidentally muted myself. Genuinely, the more people you help, the more money you can make. I've never, outside of our profession, seen that. And I was just blown away. So when I saw the profession, a little bit more background, as well as, you know, what I want to share with you guys today. When I saw, finally, it took about 5 months for me to see it, but when I saw it, my friend had been inviting me to check out presentations for a health and wellness company for quite some time. And after about, I'd say about 5 or 6 months of him following up, you know, I finally just said, you know what, let me take a look and see what's going on. And I was blown away. So I burned the ships. I left that position. the salary, the commissions, all of it, and I went all in. And for 2.5 years of being in network marketing, I never, ever thought about throwing in the towel, even though I didn't make a lot of money. And I'm not going to lie, there were some really rough times. There were some times when I was really pissed off, because I don't have a better word. I don't really like to curse in a business environment, but I was frustrated because I was doing everything. I was showing up to calls like this. I was taking notes. I was applying myself. I was signing people up, but the structure wouldn't permit for me to really make that much money. I remember at one point I had about 180 customers active in my group. That was the peak of that first company, and I was making $600 a month. And when we came to IM in the end of 2015, it was to be a customer. Beginning of 2016, made the decision to start building. I just remember looking at this compensation plan and going, are you kidding me? 12 customers, $600 a month? What? That's insane. And I mean, I can put, like, I had like 40 personals, so I could take, 3 lines of business, position all my leaders, position customers under them, and they only really needed to bring 8 people to hit $600 a month. So forget about it for me, but by just focusing on helping my leaders hit 600 and 1,000 a month, before I knew it, Matthew Rosa and I were chairman 10. Our leaders were making more money than they'd ever made, and we were off to the races. I got to tell you guys, I going into 2020, the organization is over 200, well, about 250 chairmen, over 100,000 customers. I'm being asked to be on a lot of calls for different organizations. These are my favorite because I don't have to be translated. So I can actually think in a constant thought. Sometimes translation to French, Spanish, German, it messes with me a little bit. I got pretty good, but I'm asked to be on these calls over and over and over again, and I want to give real value. I don't just want to jump on a call and tell you guys some simple things that you've heard 100 times and call it a day. And you'll respect me because I have a rank. I'm not really like that. I really try to challenge myself to recreate my journey and deliver on a silver platter the best advice that I could give you to go out and have an amazing year trading, an amazing year building your business. And I got to tell you, number one, you really have to be able to eliminate fear. And I'm not talking from a cliche, redundant personal development standpoint, because we hear, eliminate your fears. We hear it over and over again, but a lot of us do have fear, right? We're born with fear and ego. We're born with both of these things, whether we realize it or not. And our society doesn't make it any better. We have fears as adults. We have fears now. Fear of, paying the bill, fear of putting food on the plate, fear of failure, fear of success haunts a lot. I became allergic to fear almost. Like, I trained my mind to reject fear, to reject negativity, to reject anything that wasn't attached to progress or positive vibes. And it was hard at first, because I was surrounded by people who were watching the news. I was surrounded by people who were talking politics. I was surrounded by people who were talking drama. I was surrounded by people who were so worried about everybody else but themselves. Surrounded by people who used to love to get on an hour-long phone call and just talk about everyone else, right? And I just made a decision a couple years ago that I wasn't going to do that anymore. And I'll tell you, I caught myself slipping dozens of times. I caught myself talking about somebody a couple times. And, I just said, what, I gotta just learn from this experience and get better and better and better. And I'll tell you, you could ask anybody who spends time around me, my girlfriend, my best friends, even Brandon, they know that if you're in my vicinity, if you're in my bubble, we don't talk about people. We try not to. Right? Nobody's perfect. We don't talk about negativity. we don't even talk about the things that aren't working. We just talk about the things that are working. And some people are like, Jay, but you don't get it, man. Like, the world isn't perfect. You make it out to be perfect. No, I'm not dumb. Okay, I'm not dumb. I'm not naive. I'm not some, I think of a cartoon, like a cartoon character skipping through the fields. I'm not like a pushover. But at the end of the day, I heard somebody tell me years ago that whatever we focus on will grow. And so if I want success to grow, if I want my money to grow, if I want abundance and relationships and my business to grow, then I have to focus on what will grow. Because a lot of people want growth, they want success, they want abundance, but they're focused on the negative. They're focused on the money that's not there. They're focused on last year. They're focused on all this stuff, and that's what grows. And so when people are broke or stuck over and over and over again, I know right where to go. I got to go right to their focus. I got to go right to their fears. I got to go right to their ego. Because there's only one reason, literally. I mean, there's a number of sub-reasons. There's a lot of chapters in a book. There's a lot of chapters in my book. But the book is about overcoming that fear, dropping that ego, and reflecting, deflecting, and denying all things that aren't growing. One time, it's funny, I was living with in an apartment with Matthew Rosa and his fiance. And I was on a call, and I wasn't really paying attention, and she put this flower pot on the balcony. And there was a bunch of really nice flowers in the pot. It was like a planter, that hangs on the railing. And I wasn't paying attention, but I guess subconsciously there were like all these really nice flowers and like these things that she was growing. And there was this thing that looked like a weed. And in my subconscious pulled this weed out of this flower pot. I didn't think anything of it. I threw it over the balcony and I went on with my day. I literally wouldn't have even acknowledged the fact that I did it. It was just a subconscious thing. And later that day, she came back and she said, hey, who took this flower? Who picked this flower out of this pot? And I'm like, what do you mean? The weed? I took a weed out of there. She was like, no, that was a flower. I'm like, oh, oops, my bad. And I thought about that. And I thought, well, I have this mindset about picking the weeds out of my life, right? I have this mindset about, I've drilled it so deep into my subconscious to deny negativity, to deny things that even look or feel off. I'm so trained to deflect negative energy that most of the time I probably don't even realize I do it. But I also stopped and thought, well, maybe I'm accidentally picking some of the weeds out of my life that aren't weeds. They just look like weeds. And that was a big adjustment for me because, you think about it, and I mean, you got to have a bulletproof mindset. You got to be able to stand tall in the storm, have that confidence, have that faith that great things are going to happen, have a positive mindset, and we can eliminate a lot of the BS that our world is populated with. When I go to the sauna, the spa, they have TVs on, and all I see on the news is just negative. I've never seen anything positive on the news, like literally nothing. I mean, even on Christmas, they find a way to post something negative about something. And I thought, maybe I'm a little bit too harsh. And so what I do now is I assess my situation, right? I assess that negativity. I assess the people in my life. I assess, and then I figure out, how can I take those things? Can I improve them? Can I magnify them? And if not, then they got to go. Then they got to go. Because maybe I did pick a weed. Or maybe I did pick a flower. And when it comes to leadership in your business, I think it's really smart to look at what's productive and what's not productive. Who's productive in your business? Who's not productive? But also, who may have the ability to go, to the top, the ability to succeed, the ability to be a great trader, the ability to be a Chairman 10, a P5000, a P2000, but maybe they just haven't blossomed yet. And maybe they need the right care. Maybe they need the right communication. See, had she communicated, hey guys, don't touch my flower pot, there's some stuff in there that I'm trying to grow, then obviously I wouldn't have picked that weed. And what happens a lot of the times is there may be a leader in the team that's frustrated, a leader in the team that's stuck, a leader in the team that has all the potential in the world, but you're not going to your upline. You're not going to your leaders about it. There's a problem, but you're not going to those people about it. And so, we don't know. I'm going to pick the weed unless it's communicated. But maybe that weed deserved to be picked, or maybe it was going to become a flower. And I think that's what I really want you guys to understand is that along my journey, it's so funny because I have been able – I used to think of I don't know if you guys have seen this movie, but when I was growing up, I'm 30, and when I was a kid, my favorite movie was Hook. So like Peter Pan came out, and then Robin Williams did a movie called Hook, and it's about the Lost Boys and all that stuff. It kind of recreates Peter Pan in a cooler way, in my opinion. And I always used to think when I got into network marketing that I was like the leader of the Lost Boys, right? Because I have this ability to take people who have never had success in the industry, people that always had bad uplines, people that came from bad cultures, rebuild their confidence and help them get results. And I think back about all the people that were overlooked, that are now Platinum 1000s, Platinum 2000s, Platinum 5000s, Chairman 10s, Chairman 25s, Chairman 50s, that if I didn't look past what someone thought was a weed, saw the potential for the flower, gave it the right attention, would I be where I'm at today? Would they be where they're at today? That's the answer I don't know. But my guess is no. That I wouldn't be where I'm at today without the ability to look past some weeds and find potential. Now I've also kept weeds in the pot. I've kept weeds in the planter that were really weeds. And I've also kept some weeds in the planter that were really toxic and killed off a lot of good flowers and a lot of other weeds. So, no one's perfect, but I think we get great. And Brandon, my brother, I know you're probably laughing right now because you're like, dude, same. Roger's laughing. He's like, yup, same. And I'm sure all of you guys have had this experience. But we get better with time. And in 2020, my goal is to not look at volume, to not look at numbers, to not look at statistics, but to look into people, to look inside of people and find the people that have the heart. Find the people that have the coachability. Find the people that have the desire. Find the people that are showing up every single day. Now, I remember just 2 days ago, we had 50-something people on the call, and today there's 35. Now, again, doesn't matter to me. I'll show up. If Roger and 4 people are here, I'll be here. So it doesn't matter. That's not why I'm saying what I'm about to say, but I'm going to show you guys that consistency is the key. Right? That there's always going to be people, for whatever reason, maybe those people are not here. Maybe they have work, maybe it's late, maybe they're sleeping, blah, 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 whatever. I want to give you guys an example. That there's always going to be people who show up every single time. And then there's always going to be people who show up sometimes. And then there's always going to be people who show up when it's convenient. Success is not convenient. Success takes a tremendous amount of sacrifice and patience. And through my journey, literally, guys, we're talking years without really making any money, years of putting everything on the line, years of living off credit cards, getting an extra job to go make a little extra cash so I could pay my monthly every single month. It was those things that helped contribute to the success. It was buying into the right people that helped contribute to that success. It was the understanding that, yes, it's a game of numbers, okay? Jim Rohn says when you're okay, you'll talk to 10, you'll get 1. When you're good, you talk to 10 and get 2. And when you get really good, you might talk to 10 and get 3. So we understand that network marketing is a game of numbers. See, I think trading is almost the same. That when you're okay, you're going to probably take 10 trades and you're going to win 4 or 5. When you get better, you're going to take 10 trades, you're going to win 6. When you get really good, you might take 10 trades and win 8. But again, you're not going to start off taking 10 and making 10. It just doesn't work that way. It takes time and repetition. And I just understood that. Jim Rohn says that's the law of averages. But I also believe that it's a numbers game, but a people business. And again, I don't know anybody on this webinar's volume. I don't know anybody on this webinar's current status in the business, nor do I care. That's not why I jumped on here. I'm not saying I don't care, but it's not why I jumped on here. And that's never why I jump on any call. But I know some leaders won't even get on a call with somebody unless they're a certain rank or making some type of contribution. And you know what? To each his own. If that's the way somebody wants to run their business, God bless. But what I would tell every single person in my team is to detach from that. Detach from that. That's how we make network marketing a better place. That's how we make I Am Academy a better company, is to treat people like people and then let the numbers do what they do, right? Treat people like people and then let the numbers do what they do. So in 2020, if you have a desire to go Chairman 10, then my advice for you is to talk to 10 new people per day. 10 new conversations per day. Now, 20, 30 years ago, that's a difficult thing to tell somebody because they're working a full-time job and then they got to go out. They got to go to the mall. They got to go knock doors. They got to put ads in the newspaper. They got to, I mean, it's a lot. But today, it's really not. I built most of my business off Facebook, most of it. For 4 years, I sat on Facebook every day and I friend requested people. I had conversations. I built relationships. I followed up. And it took time, but eventually people wanted to join me. People found the money. People found the desire. People found the passion. I mean, guys, if something exists long enough, people are going to find it. So I think that telling you to talk to 10 new people every single day is fair. I think you could send 10 messages on Facebook a day, start 10 new conversations. Be like a recruiter. And there's time to take an Uber up the street just so I can meet somebody new. You know, stop walking past people that you're walking past and find out who's got a desire. And a notebook, just general information. Maybe phone number. Email's kind of behind the sport, but maybe social media, maybe it's email. Name, phone number works. Keep it for serious people. So you talk to them, and you can get 4 of them to a video. Take those 4, put them in a separate notebook, and this time, write down the date that you spoke to them and what the conversation was. Make up notes. You know, spoke to February 6, 2020. She watched the video. She said she was interested, but she needed to talk to her husband or whatever it was. Okay, she was sitting a little time. She was interested. She wanted to get on a couple more webinars. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever happened, document it. Just a little note, 1 sentence, and leave yourself space because the fortune is in the follow-up. So now you have 2 books, 1 for everybody, 1 for serious people. And you can spend maybe 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes a day following up with the first notebook, and then 30 minutes to 60 minutes a day on serious people. So you got 2 batches. And you know where you're going to probably pick the biggest seeds, but you also know that you can take people from the first notebook and graduate them to the second notebook. Right? People can move up that ladder, and to be honest, you never cross anybody off your contact list until they join the business. I learned this from one of my greatest mentors. I worked in a call center when I was about 22 years old. And it was actually, no, I'm sorry. I was 23. I had started network marketing already, but I wanted to get better at sales. And so I joined this call center. We were working for commission only. And I only did it for about a week because it became an interference in my business. But I tell you, I learned years worth of information from a guy who became a very good friend and mentor of mine, and then sadly passed away in a motorcycle accident. But that's neither here nor there. For this story, what's important is that he taught me to keep 2 notebooks. He taught me to separate my follow-ups. He taught me that all entrepreneurs, all salespeople, they're organized. That we need to stop shooting fish in a barrel so much, right? And I see it, guys. I see it with my young groups. I've got groups, 18, 19, 20-year-olds trying to go chairman. And I'll tell you, they got so much fire, passion, and energy and excitement, and that's awesome. But a lot of the times they lack that organization. They lack that professionalism. They lack that, just that ability to understand that business is still business. And yeah, we can scale fast and do Zoom calls and, you know, all that stuff, but let's not lose touch of what works. And, you know, people will respect your time when you respect your time. See, it's so funny, but people are always like, Jay, how come, you know, so many people are bailing on my meetings? So many people don't show up. So many people miss calls. And I'm like, look, first off, that's life. That's going to happen. But I believe that a portion of that, at least a percentage, is accredited to the person. Because I'll tell you what, when I book meetings and I book calls, people show up. 99% of the time, people show up. Why? Because before that meeting, they understand that I respect my time and I respect theirs. So I keep a schedule every single day. I have probably screwed up 4 phone calls in the past 3 years. Double booked myself, triple booked myself 4 times, maybe 5. I'm not perfect. Because if I didn't stay organized, if I didn't make a little schedule in my phone, if I didn't write stuff down, I wouldn't be able to perform at the level I perform. But I'll tell you guys, when Brandon Boyd hit me up and said, hey, man, here's a couple calls I'm doing this week. Let me know which ones you can make it onto. I said all of them because I looked at my schedule. I saw I was free. And now today I've done about 6 webinars. I worked for 6.5 solid hours. And as soon as we get off this call, I go inside and I'm going to go play basketball with one of my best friends. And we're going to go, you know, just have some fun. And I can turn my phone off and know, at least for 2 hours, that I can have peace in my life and do what I need to do because I'm organized with my time. And so I gave you guys a lot of things that I apply personally. I never like to talk about anything unless it's something that a practice that I've put into play and that has worked. And I think business is easy. I think trading is easy. I think getting organized, being consistent, having the right mindset and the psychology is where people trip and fall. So if you want to be on the right side of the statistics in 2020, guys, you're in the right company. We've been doing it for years, and a lot of people are getting results. You got the right services and education. You got the right leadership. You got tons of support. Some of you guys are in London. You have a convention in your backyard. Some of you are in the UK. You have a convention on the same island. Great things are going to happen. So I want to throw it back to you, Roger. I want to say thank you and just express gratitude for, number one, you guys being a part of our company, being a part of the family, for giving time, because time is extremely valuable and time is something that I never, ever, ever take for granted. Simon, I know you're on this call. Grateful for you and your family as well. And I guess there's probably some other people on here, but Brandon, also thank you for putting this call together. So guys, I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to the new year. I think some incredible things are going to happen in this group. And we're going to do some great things in the world because we really have an opportunity to help people here. This isn't just some pie in the sky, you know, get excited and there's nothing to receive. You know, people say, it's funny, I'll end it with this. Sometimes people call network marketing companies pyramid schemes. But I actually think that our company is a Christmas tree because there's a lot of presents on the bottom. So appreciate you guys. Super grateful. Again, everybody have a phenomenal rest of their day, their evening, and we will look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Jason, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up. But I don't know about you guys, but I've honestly seen this last new year that's just broken. I've never come into a new year with as much optimism about what's going to happen in the next 12 months as I have right now. Sam and I have had this conversation dozens of times in the last couple of weeks. This is the most excited I've ever been about any network marketing company. And I've been in and around this industry for 30 years. Sam's been around it for 32 years. We're both saying the same thing. We have a phenomenal opportunity. You guys are starting to see the trades now. We've got a couple of trades in today, made a little bit of money. Monday's always going to be slow, and we got the Christmas, we got the holidays that went past. This week is going to be a fabulous week for us. We've got another call on Wednesday. So get as many prospects as you can on Wednesday. We're going to explain the opportunity to as many people as you can. And we have, besides the national event or the international event that's coming up in February, we have our leadership weekend that's coming up in just 2 weeks' time in the northwest of England. If you still want to get tickets for that, Simon, I need you to unmute yourself for a second. You can have the link ready, and we'll just tell everybody the link is again for it. But we'll have tickets for the leadership weekend. I think there are still a few tickets left for that event. But we've also decided, Simon and I were at Simon's house last Monday, and we figured that some of you guys who live a little bit closer and maybe had some reason why you couldn't stay overnight, we're going to release a number of day tickets. So if you can't make it for the overnight events, and we've got 50-some people already who've booked for the overnight events, and are actually going to stay, and they're going to have a party with us the night before. We're going to get to know each other very well, and you're going to get a bigger picture. But if you can't get to that, at the very least, get to the event for the day tickets. Day tickets are just £10 per person. Your prospects can come free of charge. So bring your prospects, get your prospects to see the bigger picture. And there is nothing in the industry of network marketing, there is nothing more powerful than actually having prospects to a live event. I don't know how that's happened, but I've got a picture of you in front of me, mate, and then I've got you behind the picture. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So get people to the live event, get your prospects there. Simon and I will do the presentation there. We'll close your prospects for you. Well, you'll close your prospects for you, because there will be so many powerful stories in the room. You'll close your prospects for each other. So get as many people as you can there. Simon, give everybody the link.
What I will say, guys, is the leadership weekends have been the cornerstone of my success for the last 30. I've been in the industry 32 years, but I've been doing leadership weekends for 30 years. And the reason why they're so successful, I've had so many people turn around and say, oh, can I just turn up for the actual event and for the training? I can't stay overnight. No, it's either all or nothing. But now what we've done is we have open day tickets. So basically, guys, even if you've got open heart surgery, you need to cancel it. This is so important. We got a couple of people flying over from Holland. We got people flying over from Belfast, who's actually on the call now. Kieran, yeah, good job. You waved your hand there, Kieran. So Kieran's going to be here from Ireland. So guys, you know, if you've only got to get in the car and drive to the event, and I know we've got people driving 3, 4, 5, 6 hours to get to the event. We've got a stack of people coming from South Wales, all over. If it is up to me, it is up to me. If it is to be, it is up to me. I've always attended events, because I need to know that if I can walk away with that event with one golden nugget, then it's been worth it. And I tell you now, guys, there's a stack of you that are on this Zoom right now that will be at that event. I will be showing you and teaching you a system and a method on how I recruit about one person a day. And we will do it in the room for you, with you, and we will see the reaction. Now, people that can't make it, tough titty. You can't make it. So what? But the people in the room, if you haven't got your 2, or if you haven't recruited anybody, I will nearly guarantee you might get your 2 on that day, or at least by that event. But what you should do is if you know you're going to be there, get as many prospects there as you possibly can. Start feeding out to people, whether it be on WhatsApp, whether it be on Facebook. Do you know anybody in northwest of England? Do you know anybody in between Liverpool and Manchester? Guess what people are going to say to you? Why? I've joined this business. It's going absolutely ballistic. And I'm going to be attending an event, a seminar that's going to be there with some real top people. I've got 2 tickets left if you want to attend. You haven't got 2 tickets. You've got 200 tickets if you want 200 tickets. But I've got 2 tickets left that I can invite you to for free. These are your prospects. Really? Yeah, it will cost you nothing. All it will cost you is the petrol to get there. Does that sound fair? And people go, wow, yeah, where is it? When is it? What time is it? And everything else. So that event is something you need to make sure that you plug as many people into as you possibly can. Don't just be thinking, yeah, I'm going to be there, so it's all okay. No, if you're going to be there, make it worth being there. Get as many, because I tell you, this is what will happen. And this has happened to me time after time after time after time. You attend the event, you will see what's going to be happening. You're going to see people making hundreds and hundreds of pounds trading. Could you imagine having your prospect sat in the room thinking, could I do that? Could that be for me? Now, here's the benefit. If you have a prospect there that sees the business opportunity, we have a break. That break is to get those prospects signed up, and we will do a strong close for you on the basis of, if you actually get committed and join today, right now, you can stay for free for the rest of the day. You do not have to pay the entrance fee. And people will join on the day. We've done this before. It works. We have a system that works. All you've got to do is just lock into it, follow it, and everything else. Wednesday night, we have got our Zoom presentation. I will be having my meeting at my house that you're all very, very welcome to. And again, the benefit is, if you've got a prospect that you want to bundle in your car, get them here. Why? Because we again do another strong close. Well, how do you close? We will turn around and say to people, just like we say at the leadership weekend, if you join now, like if you join tonight, we will get your MT4 trader set up, we get your broker set up, we get everything all set up for it. And we will teach you and explain to you what to do, how to do it, where to do it, why to do it, with whom to do it with. And that excites a lot of people. We've got somebody on this call now called Bruno, who traveled all the way up from South Wales. Took him about 4.5 hours to come up and 4.5 hours to go down. That's commitment, guys. That is, you can see him smiling. That is commitment. And again, Bruno is booked into the leadership weekend. Bruno, 2 days ago, booked the actual convention. Bruno booked his overnight accommodation for the convention. Bruno is in it to win it. You know, guys, you've got to follow suit. If you want to see success, success leaves clues. I tell you now, you just got to literally follow it. Follow it. These guys are doing it for a reason. Why? I mean, I've worked with Bruno for about 28 years, I think it is. We were together in a company that I was in for 18 years. Made around about 10 million with that company. And Bruno was one of my team in that company. In actual fact, Bruno's got nearly all of these organizations that's actually going to be coming to the leadership weekend. That's how he understands about events. Guys, you need to really step up. There you go. That's the convention, I think, he's showing. There you go. Yeah. So he's committed. I know he's going to be committed to mental side, but no, he's committed to the business. Sorry, mate. Yeah. But anyway, but the thing is, You need to be a really, really, really good inviter. I'll give you an example. A third of the people that's on this Zoom are personally sponsored by me. Now, I'm not saying that to brag, to boast, or whatever, but I'm going to show you some techniques at the Leadership Weekend that's going to massively improve your business. You're going to be thinking, holy schmoly, I didn't know I could do that. Holy schmoly, is that possible? It's going to be phenomenal. If you're looking at understanding exactly what we do, how we do it, why we do it, and everything else, that's going to be the place to be. If you can only meet the day, get a day ticket, then get a day ticket. That's the only thing. Admittedly, the night before, we're going to have some fun. We'll have a cocktail party. We'll have a meal together. The venue is stunning on the basis of it. If you are staying overnight, make sure you bring your swimming costume. They've got phenomenal leisure. If we know we're booking this, we might as well enjoy it. And the other benefit is it's all tax deductible. It's a business expense. That's the benefit. Anyway, that's me done. Back to you, Roger.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. I thought he was never going to stop. We said we were wrapping it up 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Guys, we will see you on Wednesday. Get as many people as you can on the call. The call's important to build your business. All you've got to do is get 2 people and you save yourself $165 a month. Put that into your trading account and we'll turn it into a fortune for you this week. This year rather. We'll see you on Wednesday. Bye, everybody.
Catch you later, guys. Bye-bye.